Okay. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy birthday Eve to me.
Happy birthday,
And
Eve.
happy birthday Eve, right? And welcome to Off the Clock, our, session where we talk about things, entrepreneurship and not. I apologize for being late because there were some things. But before we talk about some things, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so that you can always catch these episodes. And let us, oh yeah, I'm not in my regular background, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let us introduce our guest, my good friend, Kelly. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, happy birthday, Eve, and happy Saturday night.
Right? Mm.
I think this is the best Saturday ever for you. Can you please tell us where you are?
Okay, so my husband's not very good at surprises, or he doesn't usually do surprises, but this time he decided to surprise me for my birthday. And I love a surprise, so I didn't even try to figure out what the surprise was. I was here for the ride. Then we drove up to a place. And this was the entrance behind me where there's a whole helicopter. And then we walked into a stream of vehicles that look like those behind me.
Okay, those aren't just vehicles. Those, I think, are what they call like a sweet ride.
Yeah, sweet ride, supercars. And I love fast cars, okay? Like vroom, vroom, I love it. And
Wow.
I was freaking out. I was like, I get to drive. Oh my God, I get to drive. Oh my God, I get to drive. And I did. So the car I drove was the Mercedes AMG. At first, I was like, is this a McLaren? No, AMG. They have Ferraris, they have Lamborghinis, they have Aston Martins, they have it all. It was spectacular. I got to drive for 30 minutes, flooring it down
Wow.
the road.
Are you addicted?
I've always been addicted to speed. So I drive a Honda Civic and I don't put it in sport because every time I put it in sport, I get too excited. I like floor it at the lights and I giggle, like I legit giggle. So I don't put it in sport anymore because I'll get a ticket. So this was my opportunity. We all drove in a row and I got to floor it.
Wow, that's pretty epic.
Best surprise ever. So everyone, I'm going to be posting definitely a lot of stuff on Instagram tomorrow. I'll do like a birthday reel probably. But you know what? This isn't about me. Kelly, how have you been? Tell everybody about you.
Well, pretty boring compared to what you're doing right now.
No, this is just one day.
Oh my goodness.
What have you been up to? Tell everyone
Well,
about you and Oak Learners and all the good stuff you do.
yeah, so I mean, this is where I've been lately is at Oak Learners. This is our Royal York campus, and we have opened a second campus on Lakeshore near Kipling. And yeah, so Oak Learners is a not-for-profit day school learning center. We do tutoring, we do extracurricular classes, before and after care, summer camps, kind of do it all with a sort of outside the box, very arts inspired and hands-on learning approach.
And believe me, everyone, I've never visited the new campus yet, but I did visit the other campus, the original, the OG
The
campus.
OG.
And every time I walk in there, as soon as I enter, I feel like all my troubles have just dissipated. It's so calming. It's
It is.
amazing. Amazing. So
I think
definitely,
it's the plants, it's the colors, it's
yeah,
the vibe,
yeah,
it's peaceful, and like we just have everything is meant to feel not institutional, like how they keep making schools feel.
yes. And you know what? I appreciate it. I'm sure the parents do. Maria, I see you're in the building. Hey, you should check out our interview with Maria. That was, really good too.
Yeah.
So, Kelly, we know you spend a lot of time at the school, but please tell me you do things like for fun.
What do I do when I'm not here? Yeah, I have a almost 16-year-old daughter that keeps me very busy and on my toes. I know. Can you believe she's almost 16? I know I've known you for probably almost 10 years now. And so you've
Where'd the time go?
I know. So yeah, so we're navigating high school post-pandemic, which is really challenging. Anybody with a teenager right now can probably commiserate with me that it is definitely a world that I'm very glad that I did not grow up in. But these kids are going to be all the more resilient for it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Um,
she's keeping you busy, but what fun stuff are you doing together?
I'd love to say lots, but right now, actually, she's in Florida with my parents. So, I know yeah, no, not so much together. That's the sad part of having a teenager. That was the wrong question, Dwayne. Yeah, and if she's watching, Danny, we need to do more stuff together.
Yes, you do. And I'm going to apologize, but not apologize for all the vroom vroom you'll hear in the back because they're parking all the cars.
I'm kind of loving it.
You'll hear when they start with the one I drove. I'll make sure I let you know. It's the green one behind me.
Oh my God, it's so sick.
Beautiful. I'll do this again. Okay, okay.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I know. Yeah, no. So, I mean, I like, getting together with friends. I like doing things in the city. The other day this week, I went after work down over to the Danforth area. I haven't been there in a while. Thought I'd check it out. I love living down by the lake, going for walks. It's yeah, but to be honest, I mean those people who know me, they probably think that I have no life outside of school because school right now or Oak Learners kind of is my life, but I get to do all the things that I really love. And this is the thing that I think is why I'm here so often is because everything about it is what I want to do in my day. Like there's the spending time with kids and the teaching and the actual work part, but then I get to be really creative. I get to do a lot of design and like creative stuff. And today I was working on my website, and just like that kind of creative outlet is really fun for me. So yes, it's quote unquote work, but it's not really. It is a hobby as well.
And you can also do like the website and some of the creative stuff that you do at home with a glass or bottle, no judgment, of wine.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
It kind of reads right into, this whole anti-work life balance because there's never going to be that balance. So there's what's in that glass? There's never going to be that balance. But you're able to enjoy the fun aspects of your work or your job. So
Yes.
I'm not mad at it.
No, and that's, what, I have a problem with the term work-life balance because I think it's different for everybody. It's not about 50-50 or, like I work 8 hours, I have to have 8 hours of play. It's about, finding what balance means to you. And I think it's about infusing that things that bring you joy into your work day so that it doesn't feel like work, right? There's that old saying, right? If you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And
True.
I have to say that a lot of times, maybe not so much during COVID, because this has been a really challenging couple of years for anybody who's been trying to run a school. But most days I can say that it does not feel like work. I work with pretty amazing people, really creative people that inspire me every day, and brought together so many people with so many different talents. So we get to do art, we get to dance, we get to go for nature walks. I mean, okay, so yesterday my daughter calls me from Florida to check in, and it's Friday. I don't know, let's say it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was out for a walk with a bunch of kids, and we were walking back from the park. And, what are you up to, Mom? And I'm like, well, actually, like I'm pulling a wagon with some children in it, and I'm looking at the fall colors. Like I can't complain about that. That's balance in my life. I think it's the one day this week I definitely hit my step counts, and but yeah, it's super fun, and it was a beautiful day to be outside. So yeah,
Yeah, we're having spectacular
yeah,
weather. I have to say,
yeah.
every year, I'm like, I need good weather for my birthday. And then Jamal looks at me like, your birthday's in October, right? And we're in Canada. So this year, I feel good about it. So enjoy the weather with the kids. And I have to toot your horn for you a little bit. People, let me tell you something about Kelly.
Oh,
I
hi. Are
mean,
you there? Oh, okay.
oh, I'm here. Yeah, I'm tooting your horn. I'm going to tell people about you because obviously she's super smart. Obviously, she knows a lot about business. Obviously, she knows what she's doing. But I have to say hats off to her because let me tell you, none of those school boards have nothing on her. Because when this pandemic started, Kelly flipped to online mode in record time and was able to serve the community while we were still
Yeah.
waiting for school boards to figure out what the heck they were doing with all the man and woman power that they do have. So, you
Yeah.
know what, Elaine? Toot your horn.
No, but I remember we did one of these live videos right at the beginning. It was maybe, let's call it a week or two, maybe 2 weeks into the lockdown.
Yeah.
And I remember that conversation with you and kind of going, oh yeah, I did something pretty awesome. We flipped online within a week. So if those of you who remember who have kids, they told us in the middle of March break, basically, that schools were not going to open again after March break. And they canceled March break camps. We did one day of March break camp, and that was that. And, I have a background in tech and in online services. So I surprisingly already had a Zoom account. I've been a Zoom customer for quite a long time.
Yep.
So I was already familiar with the platform, and we were able to, because we're small, and I really do say that that's the value in really downsizing a lot of infrastructure, is because we didn't have the bureaucracy. We didn't have to roll this out to 50,000 teachers just to, 15 to start with, and now sort of around 50. But we were able to really get the teachers trained, get all the accounts created, and by the Monday after March break, we didn't skip a beat. We had classes up and running online, and I really think we are one of the only ones to do that right away.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Toot your
Uh,
horn.
it keeps the community going. And the kids had so many questions, as did everybody. But parents were trying to figure out how to work and pay the bills,
Mhm.
and to be able to offer a service where we could keep the kids busy, and not just busy but engaged, and keep their minds going and keep them feeling like they're connected to other people. That was, I think our kids really benefit from that.
I strongly agree. You are like a superhero in your own right, and you're doing great things. Now, you have this new campus. Tell us what made you want to open a new campus. How was the demand, and how was the process of finding a space and getting it ready?
Yeah, so it's something that since the beginning, I wanted. It was part of the original vision, of Oak Learners as this boutique school. Our current space, it's I'm going to say it's about, let's say, 2,000, 2,500 square feet. So not very large, about the size of a house. We have small little rooms, and as our students were getting older, the rooms definitely were feeling smaller and smaller and smaller. It's, our rooms at our original location are the perfect size for a little group of six, kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. And we knew that as they got older, middle schoolers really need more space. Their bodies take up more space. They don't know how big their bodies are, and they just take up space. They're louder. They're more, let's say, obnoxious sometimes. But they need space to also be able to explore their new bodies, their new role in society, their new role in a school, away from little kids, so that they're not always being told, there's kids watching you, there's little kids watching you. And I think they need to grow into that role, and have a safe space to be able to do that. So having a middle school campus that was still close enough to our early elementary, it was like finding a unicorn property. It took over a year to
Oh
find the
my
right space. We do a lot of outdoor education, and we're located down by the lake in South Etobicoke. And so it needed to be near the lake. It needed to be near big parks. It needed to be, walking distance to enough outdoor space, that we could use, because our model is that we don't have big classrooms and a big property. We don't have a yard. I don't believe in fences and cages for children, but let them be outside in the natural environment and teach them what those boundaries are, as opposed to having a fence to keep them in because there's so many children and not enough teachers. That's all I'll say on that. But
I'm not going to say that
uh,
there was shade thrown, but
a little bit, but a lot. But seriously, right? Like, you go by these schools, and some of them are doing better than others, but especially in the city of Toronto, right? You like go by and they're just fenced in cages, keeping
yeah.
keeping kids in and made of concrete. And what are you going to learn from that, right? You've got the rough and tumble kids that run around and play regardless, and then you've got the other ones that sort of wander around trying not to get hit by the ball that's floating around there. And anyway, I just think that we need more space.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
And a
just
lot of
happy
kids
that
get
we have that
lost.
space, though. I can't wait to
It's
come visit her.
great. It's nice. It's big. It's big and open. It's got like larger desks. It's very open concept, kind of the opposite of the little small rooms that we've got here. But we've put sort of room dividers to make it cozy. It's got that same very cozy, peaceful feel. Again, with the just and bright colors, making it a pretty happy place. Yeah,
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, so
I
that
know.
campus opened. It opened in September, right? So you were ready for the school year.
That's right. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
what's the future of Oak Learners before I jump into some personal stuff? What's the future of Oak Learners?
Well, I mean, anything's possible at this point. I think that right now we're trying to figure out what is Oak Learners post-pandemic. There was a lot of changes that happened, and now with the second campus, we're trying to really solidify our core offerings, making sure that we're delivering that and articulating to ourselves and to others exactly what it is that we do, so that eventually we can have more satellite locations, more early elementary and middle school campuses, dotted across the city, the province, the country, the world.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Wow. I can't
I
wait. I
know.
could see it in lights. I could see it everywhere, just everywhere. Oak
I
Learners.
know. Well, here's the thing, right? So work-life balance. So I mean, travel is really important to me. So but I don't have a lot of time to do that. Haven't been able to, obviously, during COVID, and really itching to get myself going. But how can I do that and keep doing what I do every day at the same time? Do you remember the TV show Breaker High when we were younger?
I don't know if I watched that.
Maybe
Was
not.
that a
I
Canadian
think it
show
was like a
or
Canadian show. Yeah, I think it
yeah.
was. I think it was on there was the youth TV channel. Anyway, it doesn't even matter.
Nickelodeon?
No, no, no. The Canadian one. Oh my
Okay, I
gosh,
don't
it was
know.
Channel 25 growing up. Anyway, local
TVO?
Canadian
Is that
people,
what
you'll all remember me.
TVO? Something like
No,
that? Okay,
no.
well, I can't help you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, anyway, there was this show called Breaker High, and it was a high school on a cruise ship, and they traveled around the world, and they had parts of their day in class and then parts of the day out exploring, and the whole time they were on the cruise ship. And honestly, I think that's like the ultimate goal for me, is to be able to travel and teach and bring experiential learning to families as well. And a lot of families don't get the opportunity to travel because they don't want to take their kids out of school, or they can't find childcare or something like that. And so I think the solution is doing it all together. Let's go with families. The kids have each other, the parents can do their thing. We can do some educational stuff and have some downtime.
Well, I love it. If you need a teaching assistant, I don't know if I'll be of any use, but you know,
I think
call
I
me.
think we'll find a use for you. We'll just make it up. You'll be our what do you call the person who gets everybody excited and going on the cruise? Like
Ooh, I know
the
the
life
term.
specialist. They have a name. The person who does that.
Yeah, like you can call me the experiential advisor. I don't know.
Yes.
I'll be that girl. Oh my gosh. No, that's really good.
Oh
So then you're
my God!
able
Listen
to,
to
I just
those
want to show you the
cars.
part of driving away. You probably missed it. There you go. Um,
Oh my
so,
God!
with the whole travel and all this stuff, I don't know. Have you been out of Canada since, we were been on lockdown?
I have. I traveled last fall. I went down to South America. Yeah, I used to live down there. I taught down in Colombia for 2 years, and I went back last fall to visit. And it was interesting to travel through the United States to get there. It's very obviously COVID was handled so differently everywhere around the world,
Mhm.
and we went at a time where it wasn't. it wasn't a big concern. So we weren't too worried during the travel process, either, in the airplanes and the airports. I think the airports were probably the most stressful part of it.
Yeah.
And then making sure like all the paperwork that you needed to be able to get back in. But the actual travel part of it seemed pretty normal.
Wow. Well, I haven't been anywhere and I'm looking forward to 2023 because I keep saying that's my year to just go places. So
Okay,
I'm
what's
really
on your
looking to
list?
go somewhere. It's on my
Yes.
what's on my list? Well, I need to go to Jamaica. There's that.
Mhm.
I would like a do-over of Europe.
Mhm.
I want to hit up another Caribbean island for sure. Maybe that's my car. They're starting her.
Oh my
They're,
goodness.
they're it's going.
Uh,
It's okay. It was a beautiful ride. Yeah. So I'd like
would you ever buy one of those?
to. You know what's funny? I am not a believer in spending a very large amount of money on vehicles. I
Hmm.
already think cars are super expensive. So I just don't know if I would ever do that. Yeah, I don't know. I could
Fair enough.
be, I'm now in the car. I could be a multi-millionaire today and I still drive my Honda Civic.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Gets you
Yeah, I
from
just
point A to
can't.
B.
Yeah, and I like it. It's comfortable and everything, but I just can't. It's the price. I just don't see it. It's kind of like buying a high-end bag. No, I'll
Yeah,
take it as a gift, but I can't see myself buying it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they look really pretty, but I mean, they're just as functional as a purse that's $20.
exactly.
So I don't know. But I,
Exactly.
I will spend money on shoes. And I think that's where I'm going to splurge. And you know my love for shoes. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
lately I don't feel this. I love shoes, but I haven't been able to fit in my other shoes because my joints are still swollen. So my feet get swollen all the time now. So
Oh,
I'm a little annoyed about that. But I now am going really good food and really good experiences.
yes. Yep. I think that's
Yeah.
where it's at.
And I think there are a lot of new restaurants that are opening up everywhere. And I'm just trying to get whatever I can, try new foods, and hopefully next year trying a lot of new foods in other countries and going to some concerts. Rihanna, I'm waiting for those
Yes.
tickets.
Oh, concerts. That's what I did this summer, actually. That was my thing. I was like, I miss concerts. And I splurged this summer going to three or four different concerts. I was so happy going to concerts this summer. That was
Yeah.
absolutely it for me. Yeah.
I look, I love concerts too. Like I usually go to 5 to 6 a year. So I've been next year on my list, Rihanna, Ed Sheeran for sure.
Perfect.
For sure.
Perfect.
We're going, oh, people, you're getting all the things this time. Like we started the car. Oh, you have to get out. We have to move. Are they kicking us out? It's someone's private property. We've already driven their cars, so now we need to get out. This is like a very
Oh my
special
God.
episode.
It is. This is the party. This is the pre-birthday.
It's the pre-birthday episode. Yeah. I would love to actually, I was talking to Maria, who was our guest a couple weeks ago, about Colombia because she went to Colombia as well. And it seems like such an amazing place to visit.
Yeah, it's definitely beautiful. And I think it's still pretty untouched. It's not so touristy, although it's a great place to be a tourist because you get to experience the country as it is, not as somebody wants you to see it. Does that make sense?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense because a lot of times, they want you to think this is how the country operates in the tourist area, and then it's not. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to visit. Would
Yeah.
love to visit. See, oh, Maria's in the chat. Yes, it is.
Yeah. It is because I think especially when you go to the Caribbean, right? Typically go to a resort and that's where you spend the majority of your time. Maybe they'll take you on a little excursion around the island or to a city. But for me, I would rather experience being in the city the whole time and then taking a day trip to the beach, as opposed to, again, it's like what I was saying about schoolyards, right? We keep kids in a little cage, and like a resort is like keeping you in a cage and not showing you the real world.
Exactly. Maria said I can come next time with her, so we should all just go on a trip.
That
I don't know
sounds
if Columbia's ready for
epic.
all of us at the same time, but brace yourself.
Oh my God.
This will be
That is how, so you need to also build the travel into your entrepreneur life by having maybe excursions that are business focused, related. We'll bring in some workshops and just go somewhere.
it could be a whole retreat. We're going to have a retreat in Colombia.
Retreat.
Let's just make it happen. We can have
Sounds
it at
good.
a really nice home that Maria's going to stage. So there, that's already done. We can have Kelly come in and, do a really good lesson because she is the teacher extraordinaire. Like,
Yes, indeed.
hello. And yeah, we can make this happen. I feel a road trip. Well, a plane trip coming on.
Plane. It's got to be a plane. We got to go somewhere warm. Although I can't complain about the weather lately, but it is starting to feel chilly, and I'm definitely missing the warm weather.
Yeah, we won't talk about it. We can, you know what makes me, I think I'm okay up until Christmas.
Yeah.
And then after that I just start feeling the longing for good weather.
Yeah. January, January maybe not so much, but February for sure feels so long when it gets so icy. But
Yeah.
okay,
That's
gotta.
usually the time I start going, why did they say that this place was inhabitable again?
Yeah, I know. I was doing a lesson with the kids the other day, and he asked me about time zones. So I pulled up a map of the world, and we were looking at where the different time zones are. And then he started asking me about the population of different countries compared to other countries. And we found out that the population of Canada is basically the same as let's say the population of London. I might be totally wrong with my stats here, but like London, England, not even the entire country of the United Kingdom, and
Oh
the
my
size
goodness.
difference. And for kids, it's so unfathomable. And he literally said to me, "Well, like, why don't we have more people in Canada?" And I was like, "Well, why don't you think we have more people in Canada?" And he's like, "Oh, because it's cold." Like, yeah, pretty much.
This is a family feud clap. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer. 100%.
Yeah. I agree with the child because yes, that makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. It's just it's bitter. It's wrong. It's just wrong. But we're
I
gonna think
know.
positive thoughts. We're going to think 2023, the year of the concerts, the year of the
Yep.
restaurants, the year
Yep.
of the traveling, the year of all the good things.
All of it. All of
And the
it.
year where
And
Kelly's not going to be in the school all day, all evening. She's going to be out doing
deal.
things.
Deal. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I do, and I get out more going between the two locations, and sometimes maybe taking a little extended lunch on my way between. Um, but yeah, like I really want to be able to do that, get out and about more often, and I need to see you. We need to do this in person again. Yeah.
I know we haven't. Well, I saw you. When did I see you last in person? Was it last year or was it February? March?
Honestly, was it when you came by and you drove by the school and I popped in to grab you a donut from San Remo?
Yeah. Oh, that's a must. That's a must do. Okay. This is where you know you're really good friends because I did a drive by, and Kelly knows that I'm not going into establishments because I
Yeah.
was really afraid. And she knows that when you go to that location, San Remo's is just at the other end, and you must get a donut or two or
It's a
however many
mess.
you need.
Yeah.
And she's like, but you need to get something from San Remo. And she went and got me a package of donuts, which I enjoyed.
Yeah. I think we'll have to do another little drive by.
Yeah. You know what? It might happen sooner than you think. Yes.
Excellent.
I'm going to make it happen. But you know what? This was good. This was a good pre birthday. This was a good catching up with Kelly. Make
Yeah,
sure you
definitely.
all like follow Oak Learners and see their journey and see all, because I'm sure everything is posted online of the new
Yeah.
campus and how it got to be where it is.
Yep.
But
Yep. And lots of new stuff coming. So one, thing that we're really bringing back now post COVID is all of our extracurricular programming. It was all kind of paused, but we used to do a lot of like art classes and dance classes. Our mutual friend was doing some Bollywood dance classes. Like we had all that stuff going before COVID in our dance studio. And the new location has a yoga studio. So we're going to bring in a lot more of that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for that.
oh, that is so cool. Yes, I am excited to see all the new
Yeah.
things that's coming, especially with everything just, we're able to exhale now. So,
Yeah.
yes, I'm excited for everything to come and everything
Yeah.
Oak Learners. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that
Yay.
you did this. And I talk about your school a lot. I really do.
Oh, you're the best. You are a good cheerleader. Thank you so much for all your support and inspiration over the years, too, and
Aw,
guidance. You're a wealth.
thank you. Thank you. Well, you know what, everyone? Make sure you like the video, like I said. Subscribe to the channel. You know,
Yep.
I have to have no, I won't have this conversation with y'all. You'll get it in my newsletter. But if you want to see everything that happened for my birthday weekend extravaganza, hop over to our Canadian Small Business Women Instagram because we will post some stuff there. In the meantime, make sure you do go and follow Kelly. Kelly, where can they follow you at again?
All of our handles are Oak Learners. So oaklearners.ca, Instagram is at Oak Learners, facebook.com/Oak Learners, or just Google us, Oak Learners.
Perfect. So
All right.
everyone, go follow Kelly at Oak Learners. This has been spectacular. And we will talk again soon.
Bye, everybody. Happy birthday, Joania.
Bye. Thank you.